Good afternoon. I'm Selina Lau from the Hong Kong Federation of Insurers. Joining me at this panel are Tomas from CoverGo, hello, and Ken from SCOR,
hello,
and Adrian from Leapstack.
Good afternoon.
We are here to talk about InsurTech. So let me start with you, Tomas. I don't think Tomas needs a lot of introduction because he's a veteran in the InsurTech arena. He's been in Hong Kong for quite a while. And from your perspective, you've been working in many cities and many markets. So from your perspective, what do you think are your personal experience in the Hong Kong InsurTech market? And what do you think we are good at, and what are we lacking?
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the great question, Selina. It's true, I moved to Hong Kong already 5 years ago. Time flies. I can't believe it's already 5 years. And before that, I worked in London in insurance consulting, in Singapore in insurance technology, and overall I spent the last 20 years really living in lots of different places. What I have seen in Hong Kong over the last 5 years is a huge progress. When I moved here and we started CoverGo really from zero, the market was very behind. Insurance companies were not even very open or willing to try new things and even to talk to startups. Most of the development was done in-house, and and we were probably one of the first, if not the first, InsurTech, proper InsurTech in Hong Kong. And over the last 5 years, we have seen, of course, like a huge acceleration, especially in the last year. Due to COVID, everything became so much more digitized, and the pressure on insurance companies increased a lot. Also, all the new insurance digital players. There is the digital insurance licensing scheme, new digital entrants joined the market, and again, this created more pressure on the existing players to really go digital. So we have seen lots of push, and it's not just within Hong Kong, but of course there's also, globally, the InsurTech market and industry is growing so fast, and there are lots of new, exciting technology. So it's a great time for us now to really be here and leverage and monetize, everything that we've been building over the last few years. And if I compare Hong Kong to other markets, I think there is definitely a lot in Hong Kong for such a small market. In terms of the, size, in terms of the premium, Hong Kong is large, right? But yeah, the market compared to other markets, it's still smaller. But I think there is lots of technology. We see lots of startups, even hubs like Cyberport, Science Park really, help to develop the InsurTech community, and yeah, even the fact that we are currently working with more than 20 insurance companies in Hong Kong, is a testament, of the maturity and development over the last few years. So yeah, I think it's a very exciting time for InsurTech in Hong Kong now.
Yeah, Tomas, I think you have pointed out one very valid point about the Hong Kong market. We are a very small city, but we've got a big market and lots of insurers. So now to you, Adrian. Comparing Tomas company CoverGo is a startup homegrown in Hong Kong, but comparing to you, Leapstack came from mainland. So I will have to ask you a very cliche question. Why Hong Kong?
Well, Hong Kong is an international finance center, right? And it's surely one of the hub of insurance for Asia. And Hong Kong has grown rapidly over the past 30 years in terms of insurance. And a lot of global insurers are heavily invested in Hong Kong. A lot of technology-based InsurTech startups are heavily invested in Hong Kong. And that's why Leapstack see this as an opportunity to bring the experience that we have gotten in mainland China, and with Hong Kong acting as a springboard for mainland China market to the global market. I think it's the right time today, even a few years ago, to bring our experience to mainland China so we can share this on the international stage.
Yeah, I think it's a very exciting time to bring into Hong Kong different experience, different exposure, international mainland exposure.
Definitely.
So when we look at it from the investor's angle, Ken, you are from SCOR. So reinsurers in this whole scheme is that you are playing a dual role. One of them is that you look for solutions suitable for your clients that are the direct insurers. At the same time, you are also investing in InsurTech startup. So when you take on these two roles, so what are you sharing from your experience?
Yeah, so I guess, looking into the InsurTech space in Hong Kong, right? I would say that, echoing to Tomas' point, I think, InsurTech is definitely relatively younger in Hong Kong, but then it's definitely expanding very rapidly. So from SCOR's perspective, we are actually quite active, in this domain. So we constantly look for, the right partner to collaborate, to really look for, better propositions, to service our clients. So one example that we done, recently is that, we partner with a startup whereby we actually, leveraging on their, retinal imaging technology, and then try to provide the risk detection, tool, and that's essentially, turning into a means for early risk detection, targeting the elderly segment, and the idea is really try to look for ways to find out the issue early and try to really apply the right intervention before it's too late. So, and again, we try to really look for it, from a service proposition perspective, try to really add value to our clients, and that's one of the core reasons we are so active in this market. And I guess, from a investment domain perspective, right? So, to be honest, we don't currently have any investment in Asia. But then, we are constantly searching for the right partners. We are active in terms of, trying to understand our clients, proposition. We look for the partners that actually share the same values and also, visions as we do. And so we can actually co-create synergies together. Yeah.
Oh, I love two terms you've mentioned. Synergy, and the other one is early intervention. Because insurance is not only here to pay claims. Nowadays, insurance is playing an active role for the well-being of our clients and the customers. So talking about early intervention, I'm very interested in the POC you guys are working together. Adrian and Ken, can you share more about the POC you're working on?
Yeah, so for the POC that we worked with SCOR, what Leapstack did was we built an inpatient pre-assessment engine, which could be automated by itself. Usually when a client goes to the hospital and needs to make a claim or make a pre-approval guarantee of payment, he needs to fill out the claim form, submit it to the doctor, have the doctor fill it out, and then he'll return it back to the insurance company. The insurance company will get a claim adjuster or representative to look at the claim form and ultimately give out a decision whether this claim for a pre-approval can be paid out or could be rejected, right? This is a lengthy process, especially when you're talking about some people with more serious injuries or some that needs immediate medical attention. What we did with SCOR was we built out an auto-adjudicated engine which could allow the patient to not only submit it and wait for the 3 or 4 days or 1 week turnaround time. It will be instantaneous, but it's still a POC, right? So it's missing the AI component. It will tell the patient, it will tell the insured, this claim could be paid out according to the plan, but there isn't much AI or big data yet without SCOR's help. And with SCOR's help, we're looking to build a prototype whereby with SCOR's claim experience across different sectors, different medical insurance policies, different insurers, we can build an actual AI-enabled, AI-backed up automated inpatient pre-assessment engine, whereby this would be in a matter of seconds in the future when you need to submit pre-approval assessment, you can submit it to the insurance company, and with our AI, with our model, it will give out an instantaneous response so that the person that needs the treatment can get the treatment immediately. I think that's reiterating your point. It's not only about claiming, right? It's not about I can get my money back in 7 days. It's about I need the treatment now. Can the insurance company or the reinsurance company care for my well-being? I think that's where we're trying to move insurance to.
Yeah, very exciting because you are not only talking about the POC. It's not about the proof of concept. You are thinking way ahead on what's next. So Ken, why do you invest in this, or why do you partnering with Leapstack on this project? Because obviously you are a reinsurer. Yeah. This is more for the direct insurer. So can you share some of the perspectives from your end?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I guess what Adrian just described is actually a common problem for many of our clients. We do focus on the medical business especially. And I guess, us being a, customer-centric company, we essentially, our client's problem becomes our problem. We try to really look for ways to, to address into this, this aspect. And having discussed with Adrian and I, we do feel that, I guess in mutual terms, we do feel that this creates opportunity for us to, create value for our end customers, and hence, it would really, remove the unnecessary hassles, the anxieties, or the potential, burdens that the insured members would need to face, during this process. And I mean, phase one is definitely, one I guess, immediate hanging fruit that we can potentially grab. I guess longer term perspective, we do see opportunity to potentially, standardize the data, through Adrian's team and also his technology, we may be able to, create or develop more structured data, so that SCOR, internally we can also, potentially develop, disease management algorithm in the long run. And see, and that, to me, I think that would be, a potential area that we can, better sustain the medical business, in Hong Kong. Yeah.
That's the synergy you were referring to, right? 1 + 1 does not equal to 2. It equals a lot. So congratulations on the successful POC. Now turn to you, Tomas. You have done 2 POCs in this program. So can you share more about the programs you've done for our insurers?
Sure. So we work with 2 general insurance companies here in Hong Kong, both top 10 insurance companies. The use case was really about digitizing the quote, buy, and issue, the distribution process for complex products. So currently, you can buy lots of products online, but for commercial lines, for business insurance, these products are very often offline. So companies need to wait for a week or even longer. Actually, we just waited for 2 weeks to get a quote for our group health. So this is a very manual process. It's offline, it's paper-based, and that's why it's taken so long, and it's very inefficient for insurance companies. And why? Because these are complex products that are hard to digitize, to build the pricing rules, to build the underwriting rules, all the workflows. So this is where CoverGo comes in. So what we really did for these 2 companies, we digitized their medical malpractice and construction insurance. And now what we really did during the POC, we use our no-code drag and drop product builder, where companies can build any type of insurance within days. So the industry average is more than 1 year, and with CoverGo, no custom IT development needed. This is the no-code component of the CoverGo system. So we help the underwriters, not the IT personnel. Until now, always the IT had to be involved and to build these products. Now, underwriters, business users, can actually build these products in our system in a visual drag and drop way and to build all the rules. And really, we achieve now to cut the development time to days and the quote by an issue time to 2 minutes. So this is a huge advantage for especially for the players that have complex products that are hard to digitize. So this was the POC, and now we are already negotiating to do a full solution with these clients and to adopt the solution in production.
Yeah, it sounds like your solution is very suitable for the Hong Kong market. As we have 160 insurers in Hong Kong, lots of them have tons of legacy systems, and to do digitize the whole portfolio will take time and effort. So your solutions come in the right place. So talking about InsurTech solution or startup, I think one of the key elements for them to be successful is the scalability. You have to make sure your solution is scalable. So from what you said, Tomas, yours is very scalable. And I've just heard that your solution is now expanding into the American market. So congratulations. So can you tell us more? Because I think it's a very good example of how Hong Kong startup, InsurTech startup, starts from Hong Kong, expanding and penetrating to the other markets. Share some of your views, please.
All right. Yes, that's true. We have recently launched in the US and even in Canada. We also have live clients in Singapore, in Malaysia, Vietnam. We just also signed our first client in France for a pilot in Latin America. So we really use Hong Kong as the base, to expand internationally, globally. And there is a huge demand, for what we are doing, because it's true that in Hong Kong you have 150 insurance companies with all these legacy systems, and they need to digitize all their products. But it's the same pain point in other markets. Even in the most developed markets, especially for commercial complex products, there is almost no solution. So that's why we see so much demand for CoverGo and how we can be scalable. First, it's actually the no-code component of the system. There are not enough developers. Even just in the US, on average, more than 1 million developers are missing. Same in Asia, in every market. So the goal and the future of insurance is really the no-code configurations, to allow the business users, underwriters, claim handlers, all these business users, to build products, without IT. So that's why it's so scalable. Now we can empower all these business users to use CoverGo. And the second key component of our business model is partners. So we work with lots of partners. They are trained to use CoverGo and deliver CoverGo in every market. This way we can go globally without actually having physical presence in every market.
So I think Hong Kong is a very good training ground for your solution, your algo or whatever technology you're applying, very good training ground. So for Leapstack, Adrian, so I believe that your solution is very, very much scalable as well, because reinsurers use it, so it can be applied to other markets. So what is your vision for a solution like that?
Actually, scalability was the first thing that came to our minds at Leapstack when we were talking about the POC. We didn't want to just make a product, make a POC just for the sake of making it, right? We want to use it with as many clients as we want. We want to use it so that many people will benefit from the POC. That's why we chose SCOR, a reinsurer, because this is more of a retail level solution. But if we only use it with one insurer or two insurers, we're putting this POC, not to its best use, right? That's why we chose SCOR. We wanted to provide SCOR with a scalable solution on a retail level whereby SCOR can use with its clients, right? Not only can SCOR use it with one or two insurers, SCOR can now use it with all their clients that sells medical insurance. And that's why we made this inpatient pre-assessment engine. And in terms of the data collection, as well as the data to train our algorithm, I think SCOR as a reinsurer would provide Leapstack with more data and more refined data where we can use to profound a solution, to make our solution more of an A-grade solution so that everybody can benefit in the market. That's why we chose SCOR, and to make it scalable.
Right, so Ken, you have a big role to play in bringing the technology to other markets, right? Yeah, okay. Now, we are all very excited about GBA development. It's on the news headline every day, and it's on the lips of our insurance practitioner every day as well. We at the Hong Kong Federation of Insurers is working behind the scene on a customer service center that we can help our insurers to serve their customers better in the GBA. But from the InsurTech perspective, so what do you think is the future for the GBA? Are there any chances for more integration between the Hong Kong market and the GBA? What are your expectations and what are your views? So I want to hear from all of you. Tomas first.
Yes, definitely GBA is a huge opportunity for all the Hong Kong InsurTechs, including CoverGo. We already see a number of our clients from Hong Kong. They are already asking, how they can use CoverGo and expand to GBA with the solution. So now, when companies implement CoverGo in Hong Kong, they already have the GBA in mind, as the next step for them. So it's definitely something coming. Of course, there is still some way to go to really make the integration, fully live. I know there are multiple phases as well, but yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for Hong Kong startups to expand, to GBA and maybe even beyond after. So we are also actively, exploring this market, and yeah, this is again, I think very good for the market here in Hong Kong. Yeah.
How about Ken from the reinsurer's perspective?
Yeah, from our perspective, it's more really about product solutions and really is how we can actually find a better way to provide I guess on one hand more affordable let's say medical product propositions to our clients and in turn to their customers. And I guess another aspect would be potentially how can we leverage on the just now you mentioned about scalability, but I would also, tend to think about the potential complementary strength that the GBA area can potentially provide, to, let's say, people residing in Hong Kong. So one area that I can think of definitely would be in the domain of, let's say, long-term care, or or OH, let's say, community, to that extent, So in the medical domain, my personal view is that, could there be, options to develop or co-create more affordable medical coverage for our clients, leveraging on connections, like in terms of building hospital networks, not just only within Hong Kong, but also go beyond Hong Kong. Let's say if we can actually reach out to some of the quality hospital network within the Greater Bay Area, then potentially could we then offer more options for our clients to have accessibilities to that service, to those services with more affordable cost. So that could be one example. Another example would be that Hong Kong, as we know, it's really facing a lot of aging issues, right? So how do we actually address these problems? There is always shortage in supply, and where you can actually find a space, it tends to be quite expensive, and it may not be affordable to everyone. So I guess to that extent, maybe the Greater Bay Area could actually offer certain service proposition or collaboration opportunities between different parties. So and that would actually be in my mind one initial steps whereby we can actually start the integration.
Yeah, I think what Ken you mentioned is that we can turn towards the angle of smart aging, right? We can use technology to help people live a more comfortable life, and in the GBA as well, because there are more potential areas for us to live in. But for Adrian, your company is a mainland company. So how does GBA integration means to you, to your operations?
Yes, I think GBA was definitely one of the pioneer projects that we did since we entered Hong Kong. Actually, in May of this year, we have actually launched a medical product within mainland insurer, which is a Greater Bay Area medical product. I think this is one of the first Greater Bay medical products. It was launched in May. It's going to go on sale in the next couple of months, hoping the borders restrictions will be eased up since it's a medical product. I think for us at Leapstack, apart from servicing, what we can offer is the professionalism. Because what do I mean when I said I launched the medical product with an insurer in China is we actually designed the product. So we went through the whole insurance value chain with the insurance company. When we were designing the product with the reinsurer, when we were thinking about the claim procedures, the customer service, the different claim procedures, the different medical practices between hospitals in Hong Kong, hospitals in Macau, hospitals in the 9 cities in Guangdong, right? These are very different things. And maybe the insurers traditionally in Hong Kong and mainland China, they wouldn't understand each other. Insurers in Hong Kong would be more focused on the practices of hospitals in Hong Kong, whereas the insurers in China would be more focused on the practices of mainland. How do you design a product so that it would fit the shoes of both places, mainland, Hong Kong, and Macau? This was one of the biggest hiccup that we thought as a company based in China with expertise in Hong Kong would overcome very easily, but we didn't overcome it easily. We had a lot of problems with pricing, we have a lot of problems with agreeing with how the service can be provided, etc. Many things. But with the experience that I had launching this product, I think it's about two things. Mainland China, as all of you know, is heavily invested in innovation of technology, right, since the past 10 years. And Hong Kong is reputable for our professionalism. I think combining the Hong Kong professionalism and the technologies that may be way ahead of us, as we can see in Hong Kong right now in China, I think this is the way that we can bring Hong Kong, Macau, and the Greater Bay Area into harmony. And this is how we can use the Hong Kong advantage, how we can use our professionalism to assist the GBA market and to grow the GBA market together.
Yeah, indeed, I agree very much with what you said. I think the Hong Kong insurance industry and our practitioners in the city are very are highly professional. So there are a lot we can share with our mainland counterparts. So I'm sure that you are aware that the Hong Kong Insurance Authority has signed an MOU with its counterpart in Macau and in GBA. So there is this MOU is on fintech cooperation, and there can be sandbox for you guys to try out new technology in a sandbox environment. So do you think Hong Kong stands have a better chances than the InsurTech startups in the mainland, or we are lagging behind? What do you think?
I think, as I mentioned just now, right, Hong Kong is not about technology, it's about our professionalism. And this is something that we can bring on the table, right? It's about comparative advantage, right? We just bring out what we have best. I mean, as Tomas with CoverGo, with SCOR, as an international player, having office in Hong Kong, there are always gaps to fill. For us as startups, as developed companies. And I think Hong Kong companies do have a chance. If you really want to try to enter the Greater Bay Area, I think now is the time to, I guess, connect with more mainland counterparts, talk with more mainland counterparts, participate in more mainland events so that we can show we do have our professionalism, which should be put on the table. And I think for myself, working for Leapstack, working in Hong Kong and China, I do see this synergy between the Greater Bay Area, Hong Kong and Macau.
Okay, Tomas, do you have anything to share on this perspective?
I totally agree. I think there is opportunities for everybody, and especially for InsurTech companies. The fact that, for example, for us, we are based here and we already have, all the insurance companies, on board here in Hong Kong. They want to, have the same technology, that they use here and use it in GBA as well. So this is one way how we can really expand there. And vice versa, right? Companies from GBA will be, expanding to Hong Kong. So I think the opportunity is there, and yeah, we just need to go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the last question: what do you see InsurTech in Hong Kong in the next 3 years' time? What do you think from the reinsurance perspective?
Right. Okay. I think in terms of the InsurTech development, it's definitely an enabler. For digitalization. So it is already happening. I think I would imagine that would continue to evolve over time. So I guess, from a reinsurer perspective, we do see three, I guess, important areas potentially that would continue to evolve. First one being the underwriting journey. We probably would expect, further simplification in the underwriting process, potentially leveraging on, other sources of data, such as, lifestyle data and so on, in terms of, fitting that into the overall risk selection process, and also whilst, making sure that, the onboarding journey is actually a smooth one, okay? I guess secondly, I would envision, continual development in the product innovation, aspect area, and I would probably expect, the innovation would not make the product, more complex, but, on the other hand, you would probably going to modularize the product to make it more nimble, and so that, we can actually customize the product, to cater for the evolving needs of the, different life stage, okay? And I guess lastly, I would hope that there would be greater, emphasis, towards disease management or disease, intervention, this area. I think it's actually quite important, that we start looking into this domain to make sure that, the future development of the medical ecosystem is actually going to be more sustainable in the future. Yeah.
So Adrian, how about you?
I think in the next 3 years for InsurTech in Hong Kong, in the Greater Bay Area, we're going to grow as a family, right? I think, as I mentioned before, we're going to share our experience with each other. Speaking for medical insurance, I've spoken about what I have gone through, but I guess for Tomas, as he works for more general insurance, as I understand, a lot of mainland China companies do actually place their insurance right now in Hong Kong, especially for global programs. And it's a headache, right? You got to worry about many different countries, and sometimes it's the Hong Kong expertise that's helping these brokers or insurance companies to deal with these type of programs. And I think with the integration of Greater Bay Area and expertise exchanging, I think it will be easier for the international market to enter China, as well as for the international market, for the China market to enter the international stage. So I see a great harmony in the next 3 years for InsurTech startups in Hong Kong to grasp this opportunity.
Okay, Tomas, you're expanding into other markets, but I'm sure you won't forget about Hong Kong. So what do you see Hong Kong InsurTech market is in the next 3 years?
In the next 3 years, I mean, the market will be again far ahead from what it is now. I can see. I mean, I agree with all the points that has been already mentioned. But I would just like to add that I see insurance, in 3 years as really an ecosystem product. Currently, Hong Kong market is still extremely fragmented. We have all these small insurance companies, small brokers, small MGAs. Even the online businesses, everything is very disjoint. I think there will be more and more integration, and in 3 years, I think insurance will really be a product that is integrated in the lifestyle, in the daily life of people. So it will be a much better product for the end customers, and there will be more integrations, more APIs, all more digitized. And I would like to just add that we do also health insurance, life, P&C. So we really take insurance as a generic product. We don't even think about life or GI. For us, it's a product that has some purpose. We focus on protection, and using it as a lifestyle product that is part of the ecosystem. I think it can really benefit people much more than now. So yeah, I think there will be some exciting development in the next few years. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not a tech person. I'm totally a layman in terms of tech. But at the Federation, we did launch 3 very important industry-wide tech projects. And I'm very proud of what we did. I'm very proud of the support from our insurers as well as the startups, because it is an ecosystem we built together. It's a synergy we created together. So I'm very appreciative of all your efforts, and we hope to have your continued support to the Hong Kong InsurTech arena as well as the Hong Kong insurance industry to make our industry better for the good of Hong Kong. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.